Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have for you. We got JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon, Brad Garlinghouse, regulators using AI, BNY Mellon, USD, Tether, Circle, IPO, and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.75 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 0.8% in the last 24 hours. 42,400 plus for Bitcoin right now. 2,500 plus for Ethereum. 94.7 billion plus for the market cap of Tether. We're going to talk about that today. 56 cents for XRP. This is a crucial zone we're in, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to go too much lower here. Get up that hill. 1.4, we're off on the 24-hour and off by 9% on the 7-day. The range of price, you got to laugh because I don't want to cry. So 55 cents on the bottom, 57 cents on the top. We're sitting smack in the middle. We'll get it. We'll get there. The little engine that could. We'll get there. But I'll tell you something. Link 2 right now, you're going to want to get on that platform because there's Circle and Ripple coming back, baby. Watch yourself, everybody. And it doesn't last long. And let me tell you, it's been over a month for Ripple, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're looking for some Ripple private equity, it's getting harder to get, it's what it looks like to me. So if you want some, I would make sure you go get some when it becomes available. Keep an eye out for it. Click the link to my sponsor underneath the video. These are remarkable words from John Deaton when he explains why the SEC and Gary Gensler will not investigate ETHgate. And the truth doesn't guide them, he says. And I'm going to play this for you so you can hear him say it. But shout out to Eleanor Tarrant and John Deaton for this clip.
I'm just saying is that it would require Gary Gensler to go against the Larry Finks of the world who are already pushing for it. And I'm just saying that the clock is ticking. And unless there is some kind of overwhelming pressure on Gensler and the SEC to pursue a fraud case, it's most likely not going to happen. And I'm just trying to always be realistic with people. If I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong. But it's going to take, I think something overwhelming, and you could have overwhelming proof, but that doesn't mean that these people will do it, because we know the truth doesn't guide them and justice doesn't guide them. These are insiders. They're political hacks. They allow regulatory capture to go on constantly. The SEC, it doesn't have a revolving door, right? No more, because a revolving door assumes that it closes sometime. It is just these regulators are going from, Clayton, basically Kushner gets his loan from Apollo Group, and then the SEC drops the case against Apollo Group, and then not Gary Gensler, Jay Clayton becomes director of Apollo Group, right? Bingo. And I could go on with all the other examples that happen. I don't want to get upset right now, but I just want the viewers to know that I want justice and I want the truth out, but we're faced with these people who don't give a shit about the truth. And they don't care about justice, and they don't care about free markets in a level playing field. All they care about is their pockets.
That's the truth. There's no question that is the truth. And shout out to John Deaton. Nobody says it quite like John Deaton. I'm telling you right now. Shout out to both of them and XRP Drops for sharing that. And then I want you to hear this, because we need to talk here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but gold's limited in supply.
So is Bitcoin.
And it's been used. So you think so, huh?
I do.
I think there's a good chance that when we get to that 20 million Bitcoins,
they go to 42.
No, that Satoshi's going to come on there, laugh hysterically, go quiet, all Bitcoin's going to be erased.
I think, man.
How the hell do you know it's going to stop at 21? I've never met one person who told me they know for a fact they take that as...
Mathematically, it can't happen because...
All right, so there's that whole angle. But look, this leans into, and I can't even believe that I have some alignment with Jamie Dimon here. But look, I believe that Bitcoin is not a security, right? But the reality here is the not knowing who created it is a farce. And having the knowledge at the Department of Homeland Security needs to be shared for none other than the example that was just put forth by Jamie Dimon. We have offered those kinds of examples. How do you know that North Korea is not the bad actor behind Bitcoin? And people are going to start putting it in their portfolios? Companies, hedge funds, mutual funds, they're going to start exposure from financial advisors to their clients, and we don't know who actually created it, but Department of Homeland Security does. This is the problem, right? And Satoshi is for Satoshis have a wallet with 1 million or a little more than 1 million Bitcoin in it. What's to say that they wouldn't unlock that wallet and then don't? And what about the idea that someone sent $1.2 million worth of Bitcoin to Satoshi's wallet? Where's the investigation? Yeah, there's so much there, right? Now, I say all of this, and full disclosure, I have exposure to Bitcoin. Understanding these real questions don't have real solid answers. I have some exposure to Bitcoin, and it'd be enough to hurt me if it didn't go well, but that's what investing is. Some things go to zero, but I'm taking a chance here because of these ETFs that have rolled out and over time to watch what will happen. Now, speaking of what will happen, let's listen to Canton Fitzgerald, CEO, talk about Bitcoin, the halvings to come, and USD Tether. He's seen the reserves, he says.
Really well, and we should talk a little bit about crypto too before we finish.
Oh, well, let's squeeze it in. What would you like to say?
So, remember when gold ETFs started? They were very exciting in 2004, and it kind of stayed steady. There was all this hype that everyone's going to buy gold, and oh, come on. So I think Bitcoin ran up. It's kind of stay steady. But when the halving comes, it's going to start to rally and grow. So Bitcoin, I think, will grow. And there's a company that I like called Tether. It's a stablecoin. And, you know, I manage many of their assets. And Tether Holdings is the name of the group. And the group, I want to say it here with you, from what we've seen, and we did a lot of work, they have the money they say they had.
Okay, well, there it is. He said, you know what? You can call off the FBI, ladies and gentlemen. You can call off the partnership with the Secret Service that Tether has. Because you know what? Mr. Lutnick here has told us from Canton Fitzgerald, he's seen it. Back to work, everybody. Nothing to see here. You tell the Secret Service to go find something else to do. Write a traffic ticket. Right? Well, I tell you something. You think that's how the world works? You get some cat out here, Lutnick is going to just, Howard Lutnick, CEO, Canton Fitzgerald, I get it, mucho respect, my brother, but the reality here is you don't get to hand out the pass. You don't get to hand out the pass, right? To get out of jail for free pass. No. How about filing in the same manner that traditional legacy firms have to file? Right? How about sharing the information in the same way that everyone else has to? I got questions. Remember, Secret Service partnered with Tether already and FBI, and the Secret Service was originally created to chase down counterfeiters. But this guy's the real deal. This is Jeremy Allaire from Circle right here. Stablecoin remained the killer app of blockchain technology. And boy, wait till we get to the Elon Musk section here today. You're going to love it. Stay with us now. I'm just going to give you just a quick clip of this.
And sort of what we've seen in the market is really a lot of people were paying attention to a lot of the scandals in this industry and failures and bankruptcies. But at the same time, we were seeing tremendous progress being made in continued technology development. And this is a little bit like after the dot-com boom and bust, people kind of ignored internet, consumer internet, e-commerce, but actually the technology continued to develop. And so we saw that happen last year, and we've seen stablecoins in particular remain the killer app of blockchain technology and starting to see widening usage all around the world. And so it's been a really powerful time for that, and we think 2024, with things like the spot ETF and more regulatory clarity, is going to open this up even wider.
Jeremy, about the ETF, is there a chance that if this ETF takes off and there's huge demand from the retail investor in particular, that USDC could see a decline in usage? We know there are a portion of USDC used for trading currently, but if people can buy Bitcoin in effectively a wrapper without owning it, does that diminish the case, or have you diversified enough?
Well, generally speaking, my view is that if there's a broadening of participation in digital asset markets, that is going to be the case on a global basis. And already today, if you look at the digital asset industry, it's highly globalized. And in fact, if you look at stablecoin adoption globally, it's highly globalized. And so our view is a growing market and a growing participation in the market is just going to continue to drive more demand for digital dollars on the internet. And so our view is this is definitely a tide that lifts all boats, and actually we think an accelerant to what can happen with USDC.
And in terms of the timing of this IPO, it's come in line with the approval by the SEC of this Bitcoin ETF. Is that what's prompted the filing?
Very quickly here, because Jeremy Allaire is too professional and he would never say this, so let me say it. And dare I take the risk to say it on his behalf. Damn right the timing is right. You know, you see this approval of Bitcoin, spot Bitcoin ETFs. This is a great time to announce your IPO and ride the wave on that free publicity of everybody understanding that there's a whole new market of investors that will have access and exposure to this digital asset class. You're damn right the timing's right. But let's hear Jeremy's professional response.
So I can't comment at all about any kind of regulatory filings. I can simply say that we've been very clear that we intend to build a trusted, transparent, well-regulated company, and eventually becoming a public company is part of that. But I really can't make any comment about any regulatory filings.
Absolutely. And it's not an exit, it's a next step. I mean, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And again, you can get Circle on that Link2 platform. What the hell are we talking about? You know what I mean? I love this. All right, now real quick, I want to give a piece of this because it's about 20 seconds or so of Danelle Dixon talking about stablecoin legislation in the United States. Brad Garlinghouse has said, leaned into the idea we may have that first quarter this year. Danelle Dixon, you're going to hear, is going to lean into that. Jeremy Allaire is leaning into that. We know that Tether now is partnered with the Secret Service and the FBI. That's heavily leaning into something, right? But what is it? We yet don't know. But nevertheless, take a listen to this.
Well, and the industry is suffering as a result of the bad actors, and that's the big challenge. From a regulatory standpoint, there's really, I'd love to see stablecoin legislation in the United States. Some of us have been working really hard to make that happen. I hope it does in this first quarter. If it doesn't happen by the first quarter, it's not going to happen this year. And because of the election,
and there you have it. If it's not going to happen, it won't happen in the first quarter. It's not going to happen this year. So we have until April to see if this stablecoin legislation is going to come to fruition. And if it does, we better watch out, because I'm telling you, it's going to open the door for so many other things. And this is one of them, I believe. We know that Elon Musk has said that he is going to make X a super app, which means it is already a social media platform. Combine it with payments, and you're going to get something very similar to what they have over on the other side of the world in the Asian market, which is WeChat, which is a social media app that also allows for payments within the app that is used heavily over there. So this is coming quickly here, but I want you to listen to this conversation and then think about stable coins, which are not mentioned in this. But Elon Musk was just granted the 15th money transmitter license in the United States to offer payments. Take a listen.
Swing. Elon Musk revealing his plans to revolutionize payments. All right, Ashley, can you explain exactly what he's doing?
He likes to use that term, revolutionize, and this term, revolutionize payments, on his platforms this year, he says, confirming rumors basically of a plot to replace PayPal. You're talking about Bitcoin. Musk has confirmed that SpaceX owns a bunch of Bitcoin and that he still owns a lot of Bitcoin rival Dogecoin, if you remember, a cryptocurrency that Musk once said he wanted to make the currency of the earth. But now Musk has reiterated plans to compete with the likes of PayPal, Visa, even banks by offering products and services that will, quote, reshape how we connect, communicate, and transact. Musk was just granted a money transmitter license from the state of Utah last week. That is the 15th U.S. state to okay his company plans to offer payments.
There you have it. Now I want to go to this. Let's go next level here. I want you to listen to this. There's a few highlights in Davos. So we have the potential for stablecoin legislation Q1 this year. We have the payments platform being integrated on the X platform this year. And then we have AI. And I want you to look at the people from BNY Mellon and other high-profile companies and institutions that are talking about the power of artificial intelligence being used in the utility cycle as it kicks off. Take a listen here.
We believe, we're excited about it.
Search as we know of it is going to change, and the web as we know of it is going to change. And so we have a real opportunity.
We're addressing some of the most profound social challenges with AI in ways that are transformative.
I've got a little bit more capability than I had before because I'm being augmented through AI.
AI is going to change the nature of jobs.
If you're lucky, artificial intelligence will enhance your productivity.
It will create new jobs, not take away.
If you are unlucky, your job is gone.
AGI will get developed in the reasonably close-ish future, and it'll change the world much less than we all think. It'll change jobs much less than we all think.
At the end of the day, it needs to have guardrails. If we don't do those things well, like many things, it's going to be a problem.
And there you have it. So now AI is front and center in front of crypto. And we know Brad Gardenhouse likes that too. But look, now let's talk about the impact here. Again, I'm showing all of this because of what the foreshadowing here is today. Stablecoin legislation has a window to happen between now and April. Artificial intelligence, I believe, has to be regulated just like a lot of other things. And you're hearing that from BNY Mellon, Microsoft, IMF, so many others. Now you're going to hear a clip here where Caroline Pham from the CFTC is going to tell you about how they are going to consider and are working to consider how to integrate artificial intelligence to help RegTech, regulatory technology, which means monitoring these activities using artificial intelligence and algorithms. This is where we're going. But before I play that clip, I want to play to you this quick 40-second clip where she talks about the idea that I think it's over 50% of global leaders or whatever it is are concerned about some kind of collapse in the next several years. Take a listen to this clip.
This is such an important question. So as Brad mentioned, I did a global stock taking exercise to go and engage with other jurisdictions and understand how do they facilitate innovation. And so what I've observed is that there are three key ingredients that you need in order to foster innovation. So 1, the rule of law. 2, political stability. 3, regulatory clarity. And so I think it's incumbent upon regulators to do our part. And you know, right now with the WEF Global Risks Report says that there are, I think, over half of survey respondents that see a moderate risk of global catastrophe.
Over half of the people surveyed at the World Economic Forum are saying they see a problem with global catastrophe. Yeah. Let that sink in for a minute. Good morning. Now listen to this clip here. This is where we talk about the integration of AI in regulatory tech, RegTech.
And that's part of the excitement and the opportunity.
Yeah, and you know, I'll address it from a markets perspective. So markets are driven by, efficient markets are driven by information. AI enables the ingestion, the processing, and the analysis of tremendous amounts of data and information. And so I think it's going to be interesting to see how market structure might evolve over the next coming years as more and more AI is deployed, just the same way that algorithmic trading changed how market structure worked. And then I think, of course, since I have a legal and compliance background and I am a regulator, I've been very interested in the applications of AI to RegTech. So I think that there are immediate gains that people are working on and that regulators can use and adopt around using AI to improve market surveillance.
There it is. Artificial intelligence for market surveillance. Prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because the same kind of AI approach, algorithmic approach that's being used on social media platforms to trigger for keywords, phrases, thumbnail images, things of that nature. They're going to do the same thing on these payment rails. I've said this since my channel started. They're going to run nodes on a network, but we have a decentralized protocol. Well, if you're not putting a regulatory reg tech AI algorithm inside of that or on that platform, you're going to be considered the dark web. Good day, everybody. That's where we're going. Now it's time for us to go into the Freedom Zone, and I hope you will join us where we take on all the other topics that we don't want to quite touch on the channel because we know freedom of speech just doesn't exist unless you're sleeping or in the Freedom Zone, because that's the only place I know it to be these days. I hope you will join us. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I will